It's the start of a brand new year, meaning a whole year of games to look forward to, and we're going to go over some of the most anticipated RPGs that caught our eye and titles we simply can't wait to play in 2023. In this video, we'll show you what awaits you in the coming year, and trust us when we say there is plenty to be excited for. 2023 looks to be another year chock full of great role-playing games, and the list keeps growing. We have some sequels, reboots, new IPs, and much more to feast our eyes on. While there are a number of RPGs expected to launch in the new year, we've narrowed down some of the games that are worth keeping on your radar. So without further ado, let's get into the year of 2023. Honourable mention, Baldur's Gate 3. Finally making its full launch, the CRPG Baldur's Gate 3 was first released in early access in 2020, but will finally be moving to its 1.0 version in the new year. The early access version is said to be roughly a third of the content expected to release upon launch according to the devs. In case you missed it, the title is a new entry to the classic CRPG series. Players can follow the origins of different characters which are fully customizable. Put together your own party of companions as you travel to the Forgotten Realms. The narrative sets to focus on an intriguing plot full of fellowship and betrayal. The title is based on the D&D 5e rule set with turn-based combat, letting players play alone with their own band of companions or team up online in multiplayer. Since the early access release of the game, Baldur's Gate 3 has seen a number of updates with not only tweaks to the gameplay, but additional content such as new playable classes. But there is still plenty yet to come when the game has its full launch. The developer has already teased a legendary prisoner and a new paladin companion joining the mix who wields a hammer. Paladins have two subclasses, Oath of Devotion, which can unleash a vengeful aura, and Oath of Ancients, which can heal their party at hand with an area of effect. It's finally time to gather your party as Baldur's Gate 3 is unleashing its full potential in August of 2023. If you can't wait that long though, you can always get a taste of what's to come with the early access version available on Steam. Whether you're planning to play a bard, barbarian, or even a paladin, head to our Baldur's Gate 3 wiki for all the latest info. At number 10, Blue Protocol. A title that has been long awaited by fans, Blue Protocol has finally been confirmed to be coming west. The MMORPG, which is expected to launch sometime in Q3 or Q4 of 2023, combines an anime art style with a vibrant 3D fantasy world. Following the heroic tale of Regnus, a world that is on the very edge of destruction after experiencing millennia of conflict after overuse of technological advancement. United by the aim to defeat the powerful foes, players will harness the mysterious light known as Flux to aid them. The title will launch with 5 unique classes to the online action RPG, being Blade Warden, Twin Striker, Keen Strider, Spellweave, and Foebreaker. The combat sets to have fluid action-heavy battles, letting players venture solo or with friends. Players will have the help of mystical summoned creatures known as Echoes to not only help save the world, but unlock memories dormant in their character's mind. Blue Protocol is under a partnership between Amazon Games and Bandai Namco Online. This free-to-play title could be another great multiplayer game as Amazon adds another online title to their roster after Lost Ark and New World. Blue Protocol will be coming to PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S in the last half of 2023. A closed beta is expected to take place earlier in the year for PC. At number 9, The Lords of the Fallen. The Lords of the Fallen is a reboot of the 2014 title, but sets to be 5 times larger than the original game. This time around, the Dark Crusader is aided by a mystical lantern which seems to help exorcise the dead. Your role will be to embark upon a quest to overthrow the Demon Lord Adir. Players will have vast locations to explore with interconnected worlds. Characters will be truly your own with plenty of visual customization options as well as builds with 9 different classes to choose from. The tactical combat allows for a range of options when it comes to playstyles, as there are hundreds of weapons and magic at your fingertips. The most intriguing feature seems to be the lantern, which possesses a bridge between worlds. Death doesn't quite seem like the end of all things, as you still have a chance to fight your way back to the living, but only as a final chance. The game looks to have some supernatural elements tied into an action RPG with some Souls-like influence. If playing as a Dark Crusader going beyond the veil takes your fancy, be on the lookout for The Lords of the Fallen next year. The title is expected to release in 2023 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and PC. At number 8, Forspoken. Creating a unique blend of modern world colliding with magic, Forspoken follows the New Yorker Frey as she is transported to the world of Athea. The title is action-packed with the use of fast parkour stunts and magical abilities. Frey won't be exactly on her own though, because she will have a companion or rather an accessory known as Cuff that can cast powerful spells. This includes zipping across the land at great speeds and is pretty useful in fighting against foes. Frey, of course, doesn't belong in this mystical land and must find her way back to her own world, which will pose quite a challenge. Gameplay shows a good mix of parkour-like moves with plenty of fast action. Explore a beautiful world that is just as dangerous as it is stunning, filled with magical creatures such as dragons and enemies. Athea was once more breathtaking and prosperous until the calamity known as the Break happened. The benevolent leaders called the Tantas, along with all their lands and followers, were corrupted. Frey will use a range of spells, plus run, jump, scale walls, as well as dash to traverse the world. Forspoken is set to come to platforms PlayStation 5 and PC via Steam on January 24th, 2023. At number 7, Wild Hearts. Now, if you like the idea of combining behemoth hunting with contraption building, then this one's for you. Koei Tecmo's answer to monster hunting has its own spin on the genre in Wild Hearts. In this brand new epic adventure, players will be testing their building skills just as much as their fighting skills with the use of ancient tech called karakuri. You can also use weapons such as katanas, mauls, and even bladed wagaza, an umbrella-type weapon, to fight against enemies. In a world that is inhabited by large beasts called kemono, these wild beasts are on the rampage and also affect the natural environment around them. Azuma is stunning, but this land is teeming with these monsters. The title is inspired by feudal Japan, but with a fantasy flavour. Stand your ground by using the tech at hand to take down these threats. One type of karakuri is the dragon type, its offensive capabilities including flying vine, wind vortex, and roller. The last one lets you hop on a gyro wheel type vehicle that speedily lets you get around. Crafting means you can build blocks to get further off the ground and even lets you create gliders to get you straight into the heart of the action. The multiplayer title has large regions to traverse based on the 4 seasons. Visit your home base in the village of Minato to set up before your hunt. The game also supports crossplay, so you can team up with friends no matter what platform they're playing on. Wild Hearts will be entering the fray on February 17th, 2023 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. At number 6, Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI is one long-running franchise, and keeping things fresh with each entry is not an easy task. The upcoming entry Final Fantasy XVI has some changes to the way that they will handle summons, and will have a much darker take on the game's story this time around. But don't worry, as there will still be plenty of elements from the series that fans know and love, such as Ifrit, Shiva, and more. Final Fantasy XVI will be a tale of revenge, political intrigue, and lots of action, following protagonist Clive Rosfield in the realm of Valisthea, who can wield the power of an icon. The Blight now freshens the peace that once reigned, affecting the Ether, a precious resource that is worth fighting for. This causes a war to break out, heavily influencing the political landscape. One major departure in this entry is the use of abilities that can be channeled through dominance. These people can use the inherited powers of dangerous creatures called icons, but at a price. This takes a toll on their bodies each time they use these powers. This could be a refreshing take on the series, especially when it comes to combat, with the main character Clive being able to switch between martial arts in combat and summon seamlessly in real time. Clive will be the main playable character, but he will also team up with other companions controlled by AI who accompany him in battle. But there are also icons versus icon battles, which look rather epic. Final Fantasy XVI will be released on June 22nd, 2023 for PlayStation 5 as a timed exclusive. At number 5, Lies of P. Another intriguing title to be released in 2023 is the fairy tale inspired Lies of P, following the journey of Carlo Collodi's classic character Pinocchio, who is left to save the abandoned city of Krat in the dark world of Belle Epoque. Here he will be on a quest to find Mr. Geppetto, his father or creator depending how you look at it. This action RPG draws inspiration from games such as Bloodborne and Bioshock, with its own unique approach with Souls-like combat. Combat involves an array of weapons including wielding swords, mauls, and even using his left hand to unleash bolts of electricity, using the Legion Fulminus to take down mechanical monstrosities and creepy puppets. The combat sets to have fluid movement, allowing players to dodge, parry, and enjoy responsive gameplay. What's also interesting is that the choices or lies that Pinocchio makes will also shape the story, affecting quests as well as the enemies he will face. The game is shaping up to be a dark fantasy title with some interesting combat, especially with the use of the shock ability. Lies of P does stray away from the original story quite a bit, as he's equipped with a mechanical arm. This can be customized with different attachments from flamethrowers to wire hook, changing out different arm attachments to best suit the situation at hand. Lies of P will launch sometime in 2023 for PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. At number 4, Starfield. We're heading into the Starfield finally, as the anticipated NASA-punk RPG will be launching in 2023. What exactly is NASA-punk? Well, it's inspired by real-life space tech, combining realism with sci-fi planetary exploration. This title will pit players against the hard realities of space while balancing the fun of science fiction. This game has a lot to live up to as it's the first new universe by Bethesda Game Studios in 25 years. Bethesda's latest RPG will have a whole dynamic quest and faction system. Players will meet different settlements, each with their own set of problems for you to solve. These will lead to quests with their own dungeons, making for dynamic gameplay. Explore the solar system through missions from Constellation, an organization motivated to find out more about the origins of this universe. Uncover the mysteries that hopefully will tell more about what happened to Earth. The universe sounds quite expansive with over 1,000 planets to explore. How varied these will be is currently unknown, but who wouldn't want to venture through the space for the ultimate adventure? Exploration is not limited to your ship, as you can spend time collecting resources from planets and create a space base, a home away from home. Hire NPCs to help you out with day-to-day activities, but not all is peaceful, as there will be those who want what you have. These space pirates are dangerous and you will need a weapon or two to fend them off. Players can use a range of weapons such as SMGs, rifles and shotguns, but you're not just limited to these run-of-the-mill ranged weapons, as there are more sci-fi orientated weaponry such as the energy and plasma guns. You can also engage in spaceship battles. Starfield will be coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC in 2023. At number 3, Hogwarts Legacy. Things are about to get magical. Hogwarts Legacy is an action RPG adaptation of the wizarding world based on Harry Potter. This title shows a lot of promise for fans of the franchise. The game sets to include not only the charms you'd find in a usual Hogwarts experience, but also rather more serious, unforgivable curses concerned with the dark arts. While set in the same universe as Harry Potter, the game takes place in the 1800s, where you play as a 5th-year student. There are rumours of a goblin rebellion being led by Ranrock, supported by an alliance of witches and wizards. Together with trusted companions, other students from the school and your professors, it's up to you to find out why corrupted magic is threatening the wizarding world. Your actions as well as your choices in-game will also affect the characters' lives, having much larger consequences by affecting the ending of the game. The locations so far reveal some iconic places from the books, including the Hogwarts grounds, which can be explored upon broomstick, meaning getting the full experience as a student of the school. Discover magical beasts, craft potions, and cast magic. Take part in duels, battles where magical folk will duke it out using spells. Battle arenas will have a much more challenging experience at hand, with the use of unforgivable curses such as Imperio, Crucio, and even Avada Kedavra. Having both offensive and defensive magic, curses can break an opponent's shield charms. Hogwarts Legacy will be operating on February 10th for PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. Plus, the Nintendo Switch version will be coming at a later date. At number 2, Warlong Fallen Dynasty. Warlong Fallen Dynasty sets to be a Souls-like based on the Three Kingdoms era, set in the later Han Dynasty. This period is full of conflict and chaos, so it's a perfect setting for a challenging combat game. While taking historical inspiration, this world is infested with demons, which are causing havoc with the once prosperous dynasty now teetering upon collapse. Take on the role as a militia soldier, it's down to the player to push back against the Yellow Turban Rebellion. The scope seems to be quite on the large scale compared to previous titles the studio has done in the past, such as Nioh 2. The game, just like Nioh, sets to have plenty of mythical and dark fantasy elements with brutal sword slashing. Instead of a traditional character leveling system, the morale system will determine their character's success in battle. Defeating more enemies will raise your morale rank. Enemies with a higher morale rank will mean faster progression, making facing against more challenging enemies more rewarding. Combat is fast-paced, using wizardry spells and martial arts to defeat your foes. The use of the spirit gauge determines when you can block or dodge, but spamming attacks will get empty the gauge, meaning keeping an eye on your moves in order to empower your martial arts. There is a range of fantasy elements and action gameplay which will be loved by those who played Nioh and Ninja Gaiden fans. Warlong Fallen Dynasty will launch on March 3rd for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. At number 1, Diablo 4. Hold on to your loot as Lilith is coming. That's right, Diablo 4 takes our top spot as it's the ARPG we've been waiting for. Diablo 4 was first announced in 2019 and has since been in development. This title is set in the world of Sanctuary, set in the aftermath of the events of Diablo 3 with the defeat of Prime Evil. Sanctuary has slowly rebuilt, but peace doesn't last long as there is old evil on the rise, Lilith, Queen of the Succubi. Sanctuary is split into 5 regions, whereby players can explore an open world upon mount with their trusty steed. The game will be online only with a host of social activities to take part in. This includes public events and joining social hubs. Choose from 5 playable classes including Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue and Sorcerer, as you battle through the extensive lands or fight through corrupted dungeons. There also seems to be a lot of customization when it comes to your character, down to the smallest details such as facial features. This time around, players will be faced with a new challenge with world tiers. The higher the level, the more challenging enemies they will encounter, and of course, better rewards. Moving from one tier to the next will also have its own gatekeeper. This boss will be what stands in your way of making it to the higher world tier. After players reach level 50, they will have access to the Paragon board, which provides further ways to customize your build. You can also team up with other players through crossplay, which works across all platforms. You also won't be limited by your level or where you are story-wise when it comes to grouping up. If PvP is more your style, you can venture to PvP zones and fight for glory. Diablo 4 will be unleashing hell on June 6 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PC and Xbox Series X and S. That was quite the list of RPGs coming away in 2023. As always, what do you think of our list? What games are you looking most forward to in 2023? We want to know. Let us know in the comments below.